In this Eco Bite, I'm joined by my coworker Holly, who's going to tell us a little bit about the plants we should probably look out for when hiking through the woods.
Well, Amanda, you are standing in it. The one we really want to watch out for is poison ivy. It has 3 leaflets on each stalk. You can see. And it sometimes can be confusing if you see other plants that look similar. Right next to it we have a Virginia creeper, and it is also a vine like poison ivy, but it has lots of little teeth along the edges of the leaf, while poison ivy will have maybe a couple notches, but not all the little teeth that the Virginia creeper has. And another plant that sometimes can look similar is the blackberry. So the blackberry does have 3 leaves like poison ivy, but it also has little teeth along the edge of the leaflet, which lets you know that it's not poison ivy. And another thing, once this plant gets bigger, it's easier to see, but there's little tiny sharp spines on the blackberry that the poison ivy does not have. Poison ivy can grow as a shrub or a vine. In this case, we have a big, healthy poison ivy vine growing up the tree, and it puts out little tiny roots called rootlets that allow it to cling to the bark of the tree and climb up high. We have here the native poison ivy. It is native, meaning it grows naturally in the United States of America, and it was found here before the European settlers came. It has 3 leaflets on each stalk. You can see 1, 2, 3. So the saying, leaflets of 3, let it be. Poison ivy is very variable in how the leaves may look. Here, they're not very shiny. Sometimes the leaves are very shiny. And this example has some nice big notches in the leaf edge, while on the very same plant, the next one leaf over has smaller notches. So poison ivy is very variable in how it looks, but it always has these 3 leaflets. Another common vine you might find in the woods is English ivy. It is not native, however. It was brought over from England, thus its name English ivy. It has escaped our landscapes. People have planted it for many years, and it is now found in our forests. So please don't plant English ivy, and if you see it, pull it up. Here's an example of another plant you want to watch out for. This is poison oak. It also has 3 leaflets. And here's an example of the fruit that they grow in the fall. This yellow to whitish color fruit. Birds love it. That's how the plant spreads itself. It goes through the digestive tract of birds and they deposit it in fertile ground. Both poison oak and poison ivy contain an oil called urushiol. And urushiol is an allergen to 75 to 85% of people in the United States. People who are susceptible to this allergen get a rash that is red, bumpy, sometimes with blisters, and itches very badly for up to a few weeks. A good way to avoid getting this rash is to wash with plain soap and water after you've been walking in the woods. This rash is not contagious, so you can only get it from the oil. Animals themselves don't get the rash, but they can carry the oil on their fur. So when handling an animal, you may want to wash your hands after it's been in the woods as well. Clothing can also transfer the oil. So when doing laundry after a walk in the woods, be cautious with that. This poison oak is starting to change color for the fall. It turns a pretty orange-red color, and poison ivy does as well. It's really a pretty vine. The deer love to eat the leaves, and as I had mentioned earlier, birds love the seeds. So it's a really good plant for wildlife. You can see the berries here. Humans, however, are not so appreciative of it. It causes that itchy rash, so most people consider poison ivy a noxious weed. Well, Amanda, how was that? Was that a good start?
That was a lot of information, and I learned a lot today. I'm definitely going to pay attention where I'm walking in the woods next time.